Good evening, everyone, and welcome to First Unitarian Church of Toledo and tonight's concert by Charlie King. Charlie King is a musical storyteller and political satirist. He's been at the heart of American folk music for half a century. Pete Seeger hailed him as one of the finest songwriters of our time. He's a 2018 recipient of the Phil Oakes Award, recognizing his music and activism for social and political justice. Other honors include the War Resisters League's Peacemaker Award given to Charlie and Odetta, the Sacco-Vanzetti Social Justice Award nominated by Pete Seeger, and the Joe Hill Award, awarded from the Labor Heritage Foundation. Charlie has toured widely, most recently coming to us from St. Louis, and will be headed to the Detroit area next. His songs have been sung and recorded by Pete and Peggy Seeger, Holly Near, Ronnie Gilbert, Arlo Guthrie, Chad Mitchell, John McCutcheon, among others. Folk legend Peggy Seeger said, "If we had more Charlie Kings in the world, I'd be less worried." And Tom Paxton added, "Luckily, we have him." He's recorded over a dozen albums and sung in support of numerous groups working for peace, human rights, and environmental sanity, and says, "The stories I collect and the songs I write take the listener on a journey of humor, heartache, and hope. And his central vision is to leave the audience with a sense of optimism and future." Please now join me in giving a warm Toledo welcome to Charlie King.
Thank you, Joe. Look all around you, say, look all around you. See all there is just to be alive about. Look all around you at the people around you. See all there is just to being alive. Oh, our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our job. That was your part. Our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our job. Time clocks and bosses, investments and losses. How can we measure our living in numerals? Time clocks and bosses, investments and losses. How can we measure our life in these ways when our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our jobs? Oh, sing it, our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our job. Think how our life could be, feel how our life could flow, if just for once we could get into letting go. Think how our life could be, feel how our life could flow, if just for once we could let ourselves go to know our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our jobs. Don't you know that our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our job? So let go what holds you back, close your eyes, take a dive. We got a universe we gotta keep alive. Let go what holds you back, close your eyes, take a dive. We got a universe fighting to live. Oh, our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our jobs. Oh, sing it, our life is more than our work, and our work is more than our jobs. Keep singing about life. Yeah, life it is so much more than our work could ever be in work. For there's such work to do. It's more than any job, and we are here for life, and life is precious to me. So much more than our work could ever be in work. Oh, there's work to do, and it's more than our job. You don't get to have Pete Seeger say nice things about you if you don't try to get an audience to sing, you know what I mean? But you can take this next song off. It's written by one of Ohio's finest songwriters and singers, Dave Gordon, who is no longer with us, died way too young, but left us a wonderful legacy of music. And this is one of his songs. Takes place in Dayton, a place called the Upper Crust, if you've ever been there, and a bit of a saloon, and has to do with a busboy at the Upper Crust. And it's a song that opens the door to discussions of reform of the criminal justice system. I saw some folks walking in here tonight with buttons calling for an end to the death penalty, and that'd be a good start, I think. Stop killing people. Try to make them a little bit better than when they went in. It's called Slip of the Hand. Well, the High Point police were my buddies. Each Saturday evening we'd meet while I was neglecting my studies. They'd chase me down Sycamore Street. It was kinda like going out dancing with the whistles and lights flashing red. They must have thought I was Charles Manson, and the sirens was music instead, 'cause they beat the time on my head. If I had it all to do over again, I'd shout it from each witness stand, that the difference between the dirty and clean is only a slip of the hand. Slip of the hand, slip of the hand, only a slip of the hand. All right, you could sing that. Slip of the hand, slip of the hand, only a slip of the hand. Well, I guess I'd been seeing my share of the laws being broken and bent, 'cause the next thing that I was aware of, Ohio was paying my rent. We held up a 7-Eleven, the son of a banker and me. Now I'm number 12607. He's member FDIC. So, mister, oh say, can you see? It's the end of your future, the end of your youth, the end of whatever you planned. From reaching for stars to reaching through bars is only a slip of the hand. Slip of the hand, slip of the hand, only a slip of the hand. Outside of these walls are the faces of people whose freedom was bought, of people with friends in high places, and others who never got caught. And they tell us the prices have risen, and most of us think it's a crime. Well, here in the Lucasville prison, we're having a hell of a time. And they tell you, you gotta be strong, son. Don't steal, don't gamble or fight. Well, there's too many strong to do nothing that's wrong. Not enough strong to do right. Sweet Jesus, I'm lonesome tonight. And how can I shut up and how can I sleep, knowing some of you don't understand that any fool kid could have done what I did with only a slip of the hand. Slip of the hand, slip of the hand, only a slip of the hand. So you High Point police in your cruisers, and all of you cops on the beat, go on, line up a few local losers, chase them down Sycamore Street. I was thinking while I was singing of that, there's never been a rich man die on death row. It's one of those penalties reserved for poor people in this country. Well, you were warned that I do satire, right? We have sufficient satire warning here. And this song has a bit of a history to it. It goes back to a time when, what was his first name? Gerard Depardieu, know the name? French actor, very famous in Europe, very wealthy. And Gerard was terribly upset about the amount of taxes he had to pay in France. In France, they they have a progressive tax system, kind of the opposite of what we have here. And so Gerard renounced his French citizenship, and he hopped on a plane, flew to Russia. He was met in the Moscow airport by Vladimir Putin, who handed him a Russian passport, and he's now a Russian citizen. So I thought about this when the Tea Party started declaring that they had been taxed enough already, and I thought about their hero. And I thought, wouldn't we all be better off if Mr. Trump followed Gerard Depardieu's example? So that's how this song came to be. It's called Why Don't You Move to Russia? Did anyone ever tell you that? You ever been walking on a picket line or a vigil or a demonstration or a march and people say, you don't like it here, why don't you move to Russia? Well, that can cut two ways. And so when that line comes up, you're welcome to sing it with me. I'll even repeat it twice to give you the chance to do that. Sweet Revenge. And, well, enough said. Back when we marched against the war, they'd ask us with a sneer, why don't you move to Russia if you don't like it here? But now their hero, Donald Trump, says taxes are taboo. So let him move to Moscow like that frugal French guru, Monsieur Gerard Depardieu. Are you taxed enough already? Thinking you might stage a coup? Tired of creeping socialism? Here's a creepy switcheroo. Flee the home of capitalism. You've a Russian rendezvous with their 13% flat tax. You can pay the devil's due. You and Gerard Depardieu. Higher taxes got you trembling. Things are better in the Kremlin. Scared the IRS will crush ya. Hey, why don't you move to Russia? You missed it. Hey, why don't you move to Russia? Donald, you didn't pay your taxes. Can you feel the turning of the screw? Fetch Melania and Ivanka. Go and hunt the caribou. Cast your lot with Marx and Lenin. Cozy up to Putin too. Leave the land that made your fortune and a hasty toodaloo, just like Gerard Depardieu. If your motives are ulterior, hop the next boat to Siberia. I ain't saying we don't, no, please don't think we're trying to rush ya, but why don't you move to Russia? Hey, why don't you move to Russia? Russia's proletariat once overthrew the wealthy few. First they beat them, now they join them. Comrades woo the well-to-do. Once they fought to share the wealth, a common store from each to all. Now they shelter tax evaders. Donald heeds the siren call. Now who's gonna build that wall? You can make America great just by leaving. Please don't wait. No wasteful Obamacare. When you're living over there, take the cash your daddy left you and invest it in his vest. Yeah, I ain't saying we don't trust ya, but why don't you move to Russia? Hey, why don't you move to Russia? I think that song may become more attractive to him as the months go on. From your lips to God's ears. Well, from the ridiculous to the sublime, this is a scene from John Steinbeck's novel, Grapes of Wrath. And Chris Christopherson set it to music, and Johnny Cash recorded it, and I get to sing it. You may remember the scene. The scene was a small roadside cafe. The waitress was sweeping the floor. Two truck drivers drinking their coffee. Two oaky kids by the door. How much in them candies? They asked her. how much have you got? She replied, we've only a penny between us. Them's two for a penny, she lied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, with the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. One truck driver called to the waitress after the kids went outside. Them candies ain't two for a penny. So what's it to you? She replied. In silence they finished their coffee, stood up and walked to the door. In silence they finished their coffee, got up and nodded goodbye. She said, hey, you left too much money. So what's it to you? They replied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, and the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again. Ain't it just like a human? Here comes that rainbow again.
Another favorite songwriter of mine is Al Bradbury, Alexandra, her full name. And we get together once a year at an event called the Great Labor Arts Exchange. Union members, I'm happy to say I'm working on a union contract here tonight. Union members who are also poets, singers, songwriters, actors, storytellers. We get together and we swap stories and songs and art once a year down in the D.C. area. And I always look forward to what song Al's going to bring this particular year. She walked up to the microphone and couldn't help but notice she didn't have her guitar, which was probably just as well because she was about 7 months pregnant. And she sang this song. Hey, I don't want to scare you, but it's time someone spoke out. There's a wave of immigration here that no one talks about. They're coming at a rate of more than 4 million a year, and they're not from any of our native 50 states, that's clear. They're alien invaders, they come from who knows where. You can see them in the nursery, and I beg you to beware. They're growing in our bellies, they're the enemy inside, and soon they will outnumber us if we don't stem the tide. Frankie and Alberta, yeah, they had a sweet romance, forgot border security when they took down their pants. And seeing lax enforcement, well, the aliens seized their chance. That's why the price of safety is eternal vigilance. They're alien invaders, they come from God knows where. You can see them out in strollers in the park or on the square. They're growing in our bellies, they're the enemy inside, and soon they will outnumber us if we don't stem the tide. Big round heads, they have no teeth, they only whine and fuss. They're never gonna fit in, they're not at all like us. They're perniciously dependent from the day that they arrive. Don't speak a word of English, and they don't know how to drive. They don't pay any taxes, they don't wash behind their ears, and many of them do no useful work for 18 15 years. They are alien invaders. They come from you know where. You can see them in your living room and crawling up the stair. They're growing in our bellies. They're the enemy inside. And soon they will outnumber us if we don't stem the tide. Watch out. I have seen it estimated somewhere. That's an entirely different song. That's quite remarkable. That actually is a song from the 1960s called 20 Tons of TNT, and it's not even on my set list tonight. Just sort of burst into song, you know. By the latest estimation, black men in the prime of life, due to mass incarceration, taser, chokehold, gun, or knife. Notwithstanding loud entreaties falling on disdainful ears, now are an endangered species. 1 in 6 have disappeared. Father, brother, son, or lover, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Stolen lives we can't recover, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Every home bereft or broken, every bond that we hold dear, all the love that's left unspoken, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Elder, mentor, willing student, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Damned by forces jurisprudent, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Master, journeyman, apprentice, pacifist, or bombardier, teacher, lawyer, doctor, dentist, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Out in Ferguson, Missouri, 2 in 5 have disappeared. Numbers tell a harder story. 2 in 5 have disappeared. Genders equal at beginning if they live past teenage years. 60 men, 100 women, 2 in 5 have disappeared. Ends the song that's sung in sorrow, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Even if we change tomorrow, 1 in 6 have disappeared. Reparations and repentance, justice rendered, life revered. Still we hear the heavy sentence, 1 in 6 have disappeared. 1 in 6 have disappeared. Well, we're about to go into yet another election cycle, and it's been a hard-fought lesson for me that if a candidate promises something, he will not break that promise until elected. And that was certainly true for Bill Clinton. And when he broke the first promise, shortly after taking the White House, I decided to write a song. But it wasn't a song about Bill Clinton. It wasn't a song about electoral politics. It was just a story I made up. Wayne was a bashful kid, grew up on Nashville, dreamed of the smoky old West. His dad's a straight shooter, told Wayne a recruiter would help him put hair on his chest. He signed up for Fort Benning. He liked all the men. He made friends with a shake and a grin. Met the men he liked most at a bar off the post. It's the first place Wayne ever fit in. But the neon sign over the bar hung under the howitzer shell flashed the saddest words Wayne ever saw. Don't ask, don't tell. Wanda could flaunt it, she knew just what she wanted, got started in ROTC. Outdid all the men, outranked half of Fort Benning, outspoken, outrageous, and free. The night was her cover, she'd waltz her wild lover out under the big Georgia moon. But tonight it was raining, so she ran into Wayne in the heart of that same old saloon. And the neon sign over the bar hung under the howitzer shell flashed the saddest words they ever saw. Don't ask, don't tell. Wayne mumbles, howdy. She says, hello, cowboy. I don't believe we've met before. Wayne's new in the service. He gulps his drink nervously, keeping one eye on the door. She says, it's no crime here. Is this your first time here? He raises his glass to the sign. She says, everyone in here's got their own opinion. Now you're gonna listen to mine. What I read in that sign is a 4-word prescription for life in your own private hell. It's the great compromise. They say wear a disguise and everything's gonna be swell. I say you're only as sick as your secret. Only the truth sets you free. And you're only alone till you speak it. Ask me. Tell me. Wayne smiles at Wanda, then flags the bartender. Wanda says, this one's on me. They sit swapping stories, old guilt and old glory, old secrets and old memories. They plan their attack. Wanda covers his back while Wayne pulls the plug on the sign. As they waltz across the parking lot,
rain finally starts to stop. Big old moon starting to shine. Oh, it says you're only as sick as your secret. Only the truth sets you free, and you're only alone till you speak it. Ask me, tell me, yeah, you are only alone till you speak it. Ask me, tell me, ask me, tell me. This next song was commissioned by God. I was sitting in my backyard. It was a beautiful autumn day, unseasonably warm, clear blue sky. Just glorious, beautiful world, beautiful planet. And I got to thinking, and it's pretty typical of me, that if the world is this bright and beautiful, then I must be an insignificant and unimportant piece of dust by comparison. And I started feeling really bad about this beautiful day. And those voices kind of play in my head a lot. I don't know about any of you. But on this particular day, at this particular time, all those voices in my head suddenly went silent. And a voice I had never heard before and have not heard since said, "Step into the holy circle." So that was my commission. And this is the song. And you get to sing it without having to go through all that. And your big line is, step into the holy circle. There's about 1 billion little critters in a teacup. It's about 1 million light years to the wall. It's got me wondering what kind of heavenly mainframe gonna keep track of every sparrow that falls. Gonna get to know me enough to love me. I was lost in such inscrutable thought. Come step into the holy circle. That's the simple little answer I got. I step into the holy circle. I find friends waiting for me. I step into the holy circle. I get wise, I get free. All my life I was meant to be there. All my life I had turned away. I step into the holy circle. Goodbye, lonely yesterday. Would you sing it if you knew it? Let me line it out for you. I step into the holy circle. That repeats. I step into the holy. I find friends. I find friends waiting for me. I step into the holy. I get wise. I get wise. I get free. All my life I was meant to be there. All my life I was meant to be there. All my life I had turned away. I step into the holy. Goodbye, lonely. Goodbye, lonely yesterday. Would you really like to drive yourself crazy? Here's a very easy way to do it, my friend. Find the one thing you're bound to fail at, and you do it over and over again. There is help, but you got to ask for it. How come I could never figure that out? I stepped into the holy circle. That's the ticket they were talking about. I step into the holy circle of friends. I find friends waiting for me. I step into the holy circle. Wise, I get wise. I get free. All my life I was meant to be there. All my life I had turned away. I step into the holy circle. Goodbye, goodbye, lonely yesterday. Rolling right back to the first stargazer, stretching all around the skin of the world.
You're gonna be amazed where you find your neighbor. Every boy, yes, and every girl. Everybody looking for the genuine item. Everybody searching for the safest way home. Everybody trying to feel the hunger inside them. We were never meant to make it alone. I step into the holy circle. I find friends waiting for me. I step into the holy circle. I get wise, I get free. All my life I was meant to be there. All my life I had turned away. I step into the holy circle. Goodbye, lonely yesterday. I stepped into the holy circle. Goodbye, lonely yesterday. Thank you. Well, I'm going to do a couple more songs, and then we're going to have, as Joe told you, a 20-minute intermission, sharp, and then we'll come back together, and I'll do another set of songs, just a little bit shorter. They're probably the better for that. So 2 more songs and intermission. Even left a note to myself about that. This is the age for sticky notes, don't you think? Yeah. I have a friend, her whole dashboard in her car is covered with sticky notes. God, how she makes it down the highway. So I read somewhere recently, I wrote it down. Imagine being so ashamed of your history that you make it illegal to teach it to your children. And without getting too haughty about it, I can identify with that instinct. I come from a family that knew how to keep its secrets. You know, I had a mother who never hung out her dirty linen, and it didn't work for us, and I don't think it's going to work not only for us as a family, but also for us as a nation. So, of course, when I have profound thoughts like this, I write a song. I remember Grandma's face. She looked so sad and quiet. She left one day without a trace, though all my folks deny it. Granddad hated Carrie Nation. It was rum that killed him. They say it skips a generation. Better not tell the children. Somewhere there's a box of letters. Somewhere there's a diary. In a drawer beneath Mom's sweaters, shielded from inquiry. Remember why the old cat died? Curiosity killed him. Some things are best kept inside. Better not tell the children. Better not tell the children. Why bring up the past? Better not tell the children. Oh, they're growing up too fast. Better not tell the children. I hope they never ask. Perhaps someday, but till then, better not tell the children. Back in 1491, as Europe's merchants hovered, 140 million souls lived happily undiscovered. We brought them guns and germs and steel, and it was all downhill then. 1 in 10 lived to tell the tale. Better not tell the children. Then we learned to line our pockets, thanks to old King Cotton. Slavery guaranteed the profits. Some things are best forgotten. Lincoln said he'd free the slaves, skipped a couple million. Jim Crow rose to dig their graves. Better not tell the children. Somewhere there's a bill of sales, somewhere there's a tally. Long lost ledgers, tattletales, whispers in the alley. Laws that sanctioned lynching mobs and disenfranchised millions. If you want to keep your job, you better not tell the children. Better not tell the children. It will only bring them shame. Better not tell the children. They might think that they're to blame. Better not tell the children. They might say we need to change. They just might be willing. Better not tell the children. Better not tell the children. They might say we need to change. They just might be willing. So you better not tell the children. Sing this with me. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well. Their parents' help did slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they fix, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. And you of tender years can't know the fears that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well. Their children's health will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they fix, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. Thank you. I come from a small town in western Massachusetts up in the hill country, and you call the local theater and say, what time's the picture start? They say, what time can you get here? So are we all assembled? I think we are. Song from England about a poet from Spain. And you know the movies, how they start, this is based on a true story. So this is based on a true story. It's about 85% true. And written by a great English songwriter, Leon Rosselson. I keep popping these Ricolas, you know, because I'm on tour. I'm allowed to do that. My mother came to one of my concerts years ago. She says, you can't do that unless you have one for everybody else. I don't. Picture, I should tell you that. This is a very visual piece here. And Leon introduces several verses by saying, picture this. So if you want to just close your eyes and listen, there's no sing-along. It's just a no sing-along song, okay? Picture, if you, that's high. Picture, if you will, a poet seated at his writing table, catching butterflies of beauty in his silken net of words, musing on life's fleeting raptures and the long-lost hopes of boyhood and the terror of time passing like the beating wings of birds. Enter now a stoutish woman, once his muse and then his mistress, now his wife, who, let's admit it, ministers to all his needs, pours for him a glass of cognac, not a word between them spoken. His thoughts soar free like a skylark while she cooks and cleans and feeds. Into this domestic order, introduce a woolly monkey, which the poet buys while tipsy as a present for his wife. It will keep her company while he drinks Pernod at the cafe and laments with fellow artists the soullessness of modern life. She rejects the woolly monkey. He, by contrast, finds it charming, teaches it domestic duties, smiles to see its willing ways. Picture now the poet's triumph as the monkey one fine evening pours for him a glass of cognac, well deserved the poet's praise. Enter now the stoutish woman, sees the monkey pour the cognac, sees the poet, points a pistol, shoots the monkey in the head. This, I swear, is how it happened, leaving still one crucial question. Why destroy a harmless monkey? Should have shot the man instead. Terrible the poet's anger, wife departs to run the cafe, leaves the poet deep in mourning, will not speak to anyone, writes a poem for the monkey and declaims it at the graveside. All the mourners weep to hear it, finest work he's ever done. Picture once again the poet seated at his writing table, pours himself another cognac, searching for the inner light. Muzzily he muses sadly on the fickleness of women and the monkey's tragic fate, and why he can no longer write. Song from Ireland. This has got a lot of animals in it. I think Colum Gallagher, the guy that wrote it, must have had a nightmare and then woke up and wrote this song. I can't account for it any other way. This is a good sing-along song, and you've proven yourself somewhat willing up till now to sing along. Here's how it works. There's a repeating refrain. Goes like this. Round we go, heel to the toe, and then you repeat the last two lines of the preceding verse. You can write this down if you want. But the function of it all is that not only do you have to be willing to sing, you also have to be willing to listen, and you have to remember what just preceded it. So it's probably going to be harder on you than it is on me. But I'll give you an example. As I was walking home one evening, I know this takes some believing, I met a group of creatures with the strangest looking features. A poor old dog and a worm and a weed and a fine old pigeon, yes indeed. When Daddy Longlegs jumped up straight and he danced to the reel in the flickering light. Here's your part. Round we go, heel to the toe. Daddy Longlegs jumped up straight and he danced to the reel in the flickering light. I didn't get it, so you don't have to, right? So you want to try that? Round we go, heel to the toe. Daddy Longlegs jumped up straight and he danced to the reel in the flickering light. Now you know it changes for every verse, right? So that's why you have to listen. And, you can sing it with me. You don't have to. That's why they call it a refrain. So, Daddy Longlegs. On his thin and wispy spindles, he was deft and he was nimble. His eyes were scientific, and his dancing was terrific. And the rats and the worms, they made a din, and the nettles in the corner took it in. Oh God, says I, tonight's the night, we'll dance to the reel in the flickering light. Round we go, heel to the toe. Oh God, says I, tonight's the night, we'll dance to the reel in the flickering light. Slow learners, it's okay, it's okay. Then he looked at me directly with a gaze that could dissect me, and he asked me in a whisper, have you got any sisters? Good God Almighty, says I to him, what sort of a man do you think I am? I've only one, she's not your type, she wouldn't dance a reel in the flickering light. Round we go, heel to the toe, I've only one, she's not your type, she wouldn't dance a reel in the flickering light. Says he, does she come from another planet? Does she have a bee in her bonnet? Does she do her daily duty? You never know, we might be suited. And the rats and the worms began to laugh. Some of them started shuffling off. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Get ready for the reel in the flickering light. Round we go, heel to the toe. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Get ready for the reel in the flickering light. I could see he had no scruples as I gazed into his pupils. They were purple or magenta, like a statue during Lent. Says I, I'll get her right away. Good man, says he, now don't delay. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Get ready for the reel in the flickering light. Round we go, heel to the toe. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Get ready for the reel in the flickering light. Then up stepped a red carnation, and they gave her an ovation. She was warm and enchanting as she slowly started dancing. And the fine old pigeon peeled an eye, and the nettles in the corner began to sigh. Daddy Longlegs said, my, oh my, are we ready for the real in the flickering light? Round we go, heel to the toe. Daddy Longlegs said, my, oh my, are we ready for the real in the flickering light? She was gentle, she was charming, and I heard him call her darling. He was graceful as a whisper on his delicate legs of silver. And the rats and the worms were quiet as mice. The fine old pigeon said, that's nice. A shimmering veil on a lovely bride, and they danced to the reel in the flickering light. Round we go, heel to the toe. A shimmering veil on a lovely bride, and they danced to the reel in the flickering light. Round we go, heel to the toe. Shimmering veil on a lovely bride, and they danced to the reel in the flickering light. Unitarian coffee. Woo. I'll be up all night. So we come to the satirical part of the set. I wonder if you can picture, if you will, the confirmation hearings for Brett Kavanaugh before the Senate. Sorry. And Christina Blasey Ford confronted him at one of those sessions. And I watched that session over and over again, getting angrier all the time. So what do you do with your anger? Well, I write songs. And I thought a particularly good vehicle for my anger was a song by Bob Dylan. Anyone here ever hear of Bob Dylan? Yeah, okay, so, all right. So anyhow, I don't know why Bob was angry at this unnamed woman when he wrote this song, but I certainly knew why I was angry at Brett Kavanaugh, so we're going to hijack Bob's melody. And if you are familiar with Bob's lyrics and with this song, you can probably finish every other line. So be bold about that. Just jump in and finish the lines for me, all right? This is so interactive, isn't it? Once upon a time you dressed so fine, partied all the time in your prime, didn't you? Now the party's done, you had your fun. Anyone who knew you knew the kind of crew you fit into. You used to about drinking hard, ganging up, and blacking out. But now you don't laugh so loud. Now you don't seem so proud to be haunted by a memory that will not heal. Can you see it coming? How does it feel? How does it feel to be riding high? To know you qualify, to need no alibi, 'cause you're a rich white guy. You've gone to the finest schools, hung with get the right cronies, but you know you only used to get juiced in it. Nobody turned you in for your vices and your sins. Now you're gonna have to get used to it. You never thought you'd be the one to be harassed, but the uninvited mystery guest has come at last. Ah, now the ghosts are rising, and they're rising fast as you gaze into the wreckage of your past. And you say, do I have to make a deal? How does it feel? How does it feel to be riding high? To be riding high? To know you qualify. To know you qualify. To need no alibi. To need no alibi. 'Cause you're a rich white guy. You never look back to face the facts of the criminal attacks fueled by your favorite beverage. And you never understood that the brotherhood where you made good is nothing more than white male privilege. You bully, rant, and slander like your master of deceit, who carries on his balding head a hamster in heat. Ah, ain't it hard when you are so elite to be dog whistled by a man who hides beneath a sheet? To be just a hired hand defending everything he could steal. How does it feel? How does it feel riding high? To be riding high. To know you qualify. To know you qualify. To need no alibi. Why? 'Cause you're a rich, right guy. Two stories are told of a night long ago. Memories haunt her so, shadows that still grieve her. And when you testify, the camera doesn't lie. I listen to you both and find that I believe her. You used to be so amused at the predator in chief and the language that he used. Go to him now, he calls you, and you can't refuse. 'Cause when you've got so much, you've got so much to lose. You're so visible now, so many secrets to conceal. How does it feel? How does it feel to be riding high? To know you qualify. To need no alibi. 'Cause you're a rich white guy. Thank you. This here is my safety net. You know, it gets me through the senior moments. but the people controlling the video requested that I move it off to the side. So if I get that deer in the headlights look, you'll know why. Blame it on the cameraman. I certainly will. So this is a song by Tom Prasado Rao. And he wrote it when he saw a very offensive sign on a picket line in Tennessee. Saw an image of it on his computer one morning, and it offended him deeply, but he wrote a song that is kind of miraculous in the way it rises above resentment. I was talking with Sue Carter and Mike Ferner before the show about their work opposing the death penalty, which is something I've also had an opportunity to take part in. And among other things, this is an amazing song about forgiveness and reconciliation. And so I've never really thought about it in that context before tonight. So thanks for that. Tom has stopped touring because of ill health. The sign that was so hard for him to read was a young woman in Tennessee at a vigil demanding an end to COVID precautions in Tennessee. This was probably about 2 or 3 months into the early pandemic, and here Tom is at home under wraps because his immunity system is shot, and she holds up a sign that says, "Reopen Tennessee, sacrifice the weak." And this is what Tom wrote. You hold up your protest sign. It feels like the end of time. It's looking real tough tonight in the land of the free. It's right on my Facebook feed, all there for the world to read. And my heart starts to bleed. So this is from me. Whoever you are, whatever you've done, it's nothing that you can't overcome. Whatever it is that you're going through, even so, even now, even you. The world makes us enemies. That's not who you are to me. And I will still believe that we could be friends. I'm sure that you're struggling now. You know I am too, and how? So let's make a simple vow. It's not how this ends. Whoever you are, whatever you've done, it's nothing that you can't overcome. Whatever it is you're still going through, even so, even now, even you. When it's impossible to right the wrong, there's still a refuge where we both belong. And wherever that is,
we'll see it through. Even so, even now, even you. Even so, even me, even you. Isn't it strange? Aren't we a pair? One sitting safe on the ground, one in midair. Send in the drones. Never leave home. Never ask why. One rolls a joystick around, one gets to fly. Which is the drone? Send in the drones. Hundreds are dead, thousands are maimed. Digitized dolls on a screen, no faces, no names. Finish my 4-hour shift and I find I'm alone, far from the fray, address unknown. Don't give your name, feel no regret. Ask not for whom the bell tolls, fire and forget. Only a drone, a deniable drone, no problem, and yet, isn't it strange? Isn't it queer? Terror remotely controlled, a pilot's career. Where are the drones? Why are there drones? Is anyone there? Tough times. Tough times. And with all the violence and the responsibility of our own country and fueling it with weapons and money. Well, Pete Seeger used to quote Lord Whitehead, who said, "No one should speak more clearly than he thinks." So I'll just sing this song. This song was written to be sung at the memorial for Michael Schwerner, Andrew Goodwin, James Chaney, 3 SNCC workers who were murdered in Mississippi, Freedom Summer 1964. But it just seems to apply more and more to today in my mind. Oh, healing river, send down your water. Send down your water on this land here. Oh, healing river, send down your water and wash the blood from off the sand. This earth is thirsting. This earth is parching. No seed is growing in the barren ground. This earth is thirsting. This This earth is parching. Oh, healing rivers, send your water down. Oh, seed of freedom, awake and flourish. Let the deep roots nourish. Let the tall stalk rise. Oh, seed of freedom, burst forth in glory. Proud leaves unfurling unto the sky. Oh, healing river, send down your waters. Send down your waters upon this land. Oh, healing river, send out your water and wash the blood from off the sand. Thank you. All right, here's a quiz. Who is Park Cannon? Don't take out your phones. Hardly anyone knows. Maybe if you lived in Georgia. Park Cannon is an assemblywoman in the Georgia State Assembly. She is young, black, lesbian, and surprise, she's in the minority in the Georgia State Assembly. The majority of the Georgia State Assembly passed a series of laws that made it increasingly more difficult for people to vote, people on the margins, people not in solid mainstream. And the governor was very happy to sign it, but didn't feel like it was safe to sign it in public. So he signed it in his office behind locked doors. He had a camera there to record it, and not to record it, but to do a video feed so it could be seen by the public, but he was sequestered. He had invited, any assembly person should be entitled to attend the signing of a bill, but he had limited it to 4 of his friends, 4 of the oldest, whitest men in the Georgia Assembly. And they staged it at his desk in front of a large painting of a plantation. So very subtle. And Park Cannon decided she would exercise her right to attend the signing. So the governor signs the bill, and he's ready to give his little oration about why it's such a great idea. And all of a sudden, there's this booming noise in his office, and he's, distracted. What's going on? And Park Cannon is outside banging on the door, wanting to get in, and she just kept banging, So they called the Capitol Police, and the police came, and they dragged her off, and the press wanted to know, why are you arresting a state assemblywoman here in the state capitol? And the police explained. They said she would not stop knocking at the door. Felonious. So my daughter, Nell, sent me the story in an email, and she said, I think that would make a great title for a song. So that is the title of the song. It's also a repeating line in the song, and you know what we do with repeating lines, right? Yeah, all right. So, she would not stop knocking at the door. Governor's name is Brian Kemp. Do you know that? Yeah. Brian Kemp's office was locked up so tight, she would not stop knocking at the door. He was signing a bill out of reach, out of sight. She would not stop knocking at
Representative Cannon, a woman on fire. She would not stop knocking at the door, raised the ruckus, the truth, and the governor's ire. She would not stop knocking at the door. No, she hollered, she knocked, she persisted, she did. He'd much rather work in the dark, like the old Ku Klux Klan. But State Rep Park Cannon knows under the sheet he's a shark. The Georgia Assembly had passed legislation. She would not stop knocking at the door to send Georgia voters back to the plantation. She would not stop knocking at the door. Their voters had spoken, a red state turned blue. She would not stop knocking at the door. Now the Georgia Assembly is staging a coup. She would not stop knocking at the door. No, she hollered, she knocked, she persisted, she did. The governor thought he might hide, but running a scam on the likes of Park Cannon is swimming against the tide. They dragged her in cuffs to a squad car outside. She would not stop knocking at the door. Rosa Parks smiling down on one more freedom rider who would not stop knocking at the door. So many had fought for the freedom to vote. She would not stop knocking at the door. She could not get his veto, but she sure got his goat. She would not stop knocking at the door. She was hauled off to jail like her heroes of old. They booked her, and here's what she wrote. We will not live in fear, we will not be controlled, and we will not be robbed of our vote. So here's to the likes of persistent Park Cannon, and to all who have gone on before. And here's to the allies who offer a hand in the dull daily door-knocking chore. And here's to the people of Georgia who voted for Warnock and Ossoff and more. Stacey Abrams, Park Cannon, undaunted, devoted, determined to walk through that door. Raise a fist, lend a hand, carry on like Park Cannon. She would not stop knocking. She kept the boat rocking. She would not stop knocking at the door. Well, that's a nice note to end on. I think I'll wrap it up with a song that gets its inspiration in a sermon given by Dr. Martin Luther King. And he gave it about a month after his Riverside Church sermon, where he first came out against the war in Vietnam. And as soon as he had made that sermon, his support started to dwindle. Contributions went down, numbers went down, and his staff said, I don't know why you're doing this. It's just going to water down the message. It's suicidal. It's going to alienate our allies in the Democratic Party, and on and on. Lots of reasons why Martin Luther King should not have spoke out against the Vietnam War. So it was in that context that he gave this sermon. And the message of it was, if we go down to Washington and we demand an end to this murderous war, if we get down to Washington and demand economic justice for poor people, and we go home and we don't get that, we didn't fail. They failed. We didn't fail. And to wrap that argument up, he ended the sermon with the line, when you stand up for justice, you can never fail. Do you believe that? I'm starting to. Ever since I've been singing this song, I guess that's one of the functions of a song. Sing it till you'll believe it. Anyhow, since this is the last song in the set, I should say some thank yous before I sing it. I want to thank Joe and Eric and Walter and David and the people who greeted us and worked the ticket table. I want to thank my partner, Candace Casson, the tour chaplain, who will sell you a CD if you would like at the end of the evening. And thanks, of course, to First Unitarian Church for hosting this event. Very appreciative of that. Yeah, so, and thanks to all of you for coming out. I know you had lots of other choices. Enough said about that. If you stand up for justice, you can never fail. Martin set his heart on the poor people's campaign. His allies and advisors told him, don't go down that trail. The work's too hard, the journey's long, you come back empty-handed. He said, when you stand up for justice, you can never fail. You can never fail. You can never fail. Take up the task at hand, lift your voice and take a stand. When you stand up for justice, you can never fail. Martin spoke his truth to power about the war in Vietnam. His enemies and friends all told him, stick to civil rights. He listened to his conscience, and he knew the cause of peace cannot be set apart from justice. It is all one fight, and you can never fail. You can never fail. Take up the task at hand, lift your voice and take a stand. When you stand up for justice, you can never fail. The arc of the moral universe is long, and we don't know what the journey might entail, but it bends towards justice. When we stand up for justice, Martin said that we will never fail. Congress promises the moon, but you know they don't deliver. A president start again. Congress promises the moon, but you know they don't deliver. Business offers nothing if it isn't up for sale. The president will fail. He's a taker, not a giver. But when you stand up for justice, you will never fail. You can never fail. You can can never fail. Take up the task at hand, lift your voice and take a stand. When you stand up for justice, you can never fail. Thank you so much. Wow. You got the energy for one more song? You have to sing it. No surprise there. You know Janice Ian? She and I are in the same union local. Yeah. And about a month into the pandemic, she wrote this song to, I guess, to keep our hopes up. So it's a good song to sing together in hard times. Song is Better Times Will Come. Here's your part. Better times will come. Better times will come when this world learns to live as one. Oh, better times will come. Try that. Better times will come. Better times will come when this world learns to live as one. Oh, better times will come. Though we greet each dawn without fear, knowing loved ones soon will be near. When the winds of war cannot blow anymore, oh, better times will come. Better times will come. Better times will come when this world learns to live as one. Oh, better times will come. Though we live each day as our last, we know someday this will pass. We will dance, we will sing in that never-ending spring. Oh, better times will come. Better times will come. Better times will come when this world learns to live as one. Oh, better times will come when we cherish each life as a gift. When the storm clouds of hatred lift, when we rise as one, we shall overcome. Oh, better times will come. Last chance. Better times, sing it like you mean it. Better times will come. Better times will come when this world learns to live as one. Oh, better times will come. Thank you so much.